Welcome back to the Shuffle Squad. Zach Lesage here. We're covering some more Destined Rivals Pokemon TCG decks, and today we have Team Rocket's Mewtwo. So we're going to be covering over this deck. No gameplay because it's not on PTCG Live, so it's really going to be more about a strategy talk. Now, this is a deck that Tord Reklev took to the recent Champions League and Aichi, and it's one of those things where Tord is largely considered one of the, if not the best players of all time. Rocket's Mewtwo is a hype deck, so why not look over a list that's really similar to his? I think this list might be like one card off. No, it might be the exact same list. Either way, reasonably, we got Rocket's Mewtwo is going to be the cornerstone of this deck. Being able to only attack if you have 4 or more Rockets Pokemon in play, and doing 160 damage, and able to scale that damage by discarding up to 2 more energies from your bench Pokemon, or at least I believe it has to be your bench Pokemon. We have the Spide Ops that allows you to get the energies back from the discard pile. So you basically dump and draw the 2 energies off of Spide Ops with Mewtwo, and then you get the energies back every single turn. So very similar to Blacephalon, Naganadel, a deck that I know incredibly well. And it's just really big attacker, rips off energies, gets the knockout. And our hope is that we do enough damage with the knockout. We have the maximum belt in case we don't necessarily have the numbers to hit the higher end Pokemon. But most Pokemon should get knocked out. And then Spide Ops can do 30 damage for each of your Rockets Pokemon in play, giving you access to doing 180 damage. And that's enough to knock out a Mew, EX, some small things like Squawkabilly EX. But you could also add the max belt there and maybe knock out a Pheasantipity, a Teal Mask. The Rockets Articuno stops effects of attacks done to our Rockets Pokemon. So it can be cool, not really attacking because the Rockets energy only provides psychic and dark energies, any combination of them. The Wobbuffet could be cool because it can move damage counters from one of your Rockets Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon, or maybe it's their active. Either way, we're taking damage counters from our Pokemon and sending them back. So if they don't quite get the knockout on the Rockets Mewtwo EX, we have an opportunity there to maybe score a knockout with the Rockets Wobbuffet. And then we have the Rockets Mimikyu, being able to copy one of our opponent's Terra their active's Terra attacks. So if they have a Charizard, a Dragapult, any of these big Pokemon, we can copy it just for the single Rockets energy drop. We have a handful of cool new supporters here. You can see there's a lot of new ones. We have Team Rockets Ariana, which we get to draw up to 5 normally, but since we have all Rockets Pokemon in play, and we'll almost always have always have Rockets Pokemon in play, we get to drop the 8. So kind of like an every turn Lilies from previous seasons. Giovanni, Team Rocket's Giovanni allows us to kind of have Guzma, so we switch one of our Rockets Pokemon with one of our bench Rockets Pokemon, then we bring up whatever we want, so it allows us to have a switch and a Gust-like maneuver. We have Rockets Proton, searching our deck, even if we go first, so like a Carmine, for up to 3 basic Rockets Pokemon, and then I believe it's Team Rocket's Archer, which allows us, if one of our Rockets Pokemon was knocked out during our last turn, we can shuffle our hand to our deck. We get 5, our opponent gets 3. And then the Rockets Receiver is probably the best card out of all of them that allows you to search your deck for any Team Rockets supporter. So we have a lot of great options to draw, disrupt, set up, and Gust. It's great. And we have the Rockets Ball, which is just kind of like a Capturing Aroma, Evolution, or Tails basic, really allowing us to get out everything we want every single turn. We have some basic cards here like Ultra Ball, Earthen Vessel, Pokegear, Night Stretcher. Nothing that's really going to be too different than what we're playing in other decks. Like, we still need to get set up. These are cards that there's just not a Rockets equivalent for. And you don't get any bonus points for playing Rockets cards. Some of them are just better for this archetype. But we do have an Energy Switch. An Energy Switch could be cool. I'd almost like to see another one here to move an energy from Spide Ops to the Mewtwo so we could power it up in one turn might be a little bit tough with just the one energy switch. So that's something that we could see in this deck. Lucky Helmet was a card that I guess Tor's just trying to draw some more. I do find that this deck can sometimes fall a little bit flat when you're playing this deck. Just because you're like, you just don't draw enough cards. Like, yeah, it's great when you're ripping Team Rocket's Ariana, dropping it, drawing extra cards, all that stuff. But it's really one of those things where it doesn't hold its own as much as we want it to be. And we also have the Team Rocket's Factory. Now, it was ruled that you could play this at any point during your turn after you played a supporter. So you could do it, go through your deck with Ultra Ball with the cards that you got, thin your deck out, then draw 2. So being able to draw an additional 2 cards there is fantastic. Overall, I think this deck kind of has everything it needs. The one thing that I think holds back this this deck, and actually all of the trainers decks, is that I don't think we're seeing more Rockets Pokemon released, or at least traditionally being released. I could see us getting maybe some promos in the future, but it's kind of like how we saw with other thematic cards in the past. They're really for their set or a couple sets, and we haven't seen any new Lily's Pokemon this set. We haven't seen any new we don't see any scans for any new Team Rockets Pokemon. What we have is what we have. So archetypes like Arven's, like with Arven's Mabostiff, or even Steven's Metagross, or any of those, they're stuck really for those cards that are released. So it's either you make a deck with them, or maybe they get worked into another deck, but a lot of them just end up becoming techs. This deck has to be a full deck, meaning that we're kind of stuck with these cards. So if we don't get it right, there's just not anything super special there. It doesn't necessarily have the greatest results, but it is such a cool deck and fun deck to put together. And I think, like, from a collector standpoint, the SIR of the Spidops looks sick. The Mewtwo looks sick. Like, there's so many cool versions of these cards. And I think that's, like, really what holds me together. It's just, like, it's a cool looking set. Competitive wise, I don't know how competitive it is. I think the biggest thing that we gain from Destined Rivals is probably going to be Shaman being added to a couple decks, and maybe Team Rocket's Watchtower. Other than that, everything else seems relatively mid in terms of competitive play, but I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. And I'm also happy to update every single person on the metagame. That QR code in the bottom left-hand corner, you can scan, get the list on My Limitless. You cannot not is the keyword there. Add this to PTCG Live because we don't have all the cards yet. But once the set's released, you could scan it from there, turn all the cards to English equivalents, and then transport it into PTCG Live. If you need any of these cards, or you're excited for any of these cards, check out our sponsors at Kayfabe Cards, PTCGL Store, and of course, pick up some Ultimate Guard sleeves while you're at it. As for me, I'm going to continue to create content over the next I was going to say the next few weeks. I'm always creating content. Stay tuned for more great content. If you're trying to prepare for any IC or any Destined Rivals testing, I'm up for some coaching. I will catch up all y'all soon. Peace out, much love, and we'll catch up soon. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes.
Tabi no hajimari wa tsune ni michi e no ippo de aru. Sore wa yami e to tsuzuku. 初めの一歩を踏み出すには勇気がいる。そして旅の終わりには旅を始めた時の自分とは 別人になっているかもしれない。旅に出よう。物語の次の章がお主を待っている。将軍の道を歩め。侍の箱とともに。アルティメットガードが送る冒険の第一章。刀将軍の道、近日発売。
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed the content that we have today, and maybe you'll click on one of these other videos, enjoy those videos too. If you haven't already, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what video you want to watch next. Until next time, we'll catch up with all y'all later. Have yourself a great day.